What up, yo? It's Marc with the Fantasy Knockout Fantasy Football Show. Today is Friday, May 19th. You can follow the show on social media at Fantasy Knockout. Make sure to subscribe, whatever platform you're watching or listening on. And let's get that goal of 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm excited for today's show. Let's catch up on the latest NFL news.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the news.
News with views. So running back Saquon Barkley from the New York Giants, his GM Joe Schoen said he had a contract talks with franchise tagged Saquon Barkley last week. The rumors are that Barkley will not play for the Giants without a long-term deal. I get it. He wants to get paid. This is his one chance to really get a decent contract. Don't know if the Giants will work it out in time. We'll see. I mean, it's super early. I'm sure they'll figure things out. But as of now, he's trying to play hardball there with the Giants. Running back Isaiah Pacheco out of Kansas City. His head coach, Andy Reid, said that Pacheco had hand and shoulder surgery. He's doing well after the 2 offseason surgeries. He underwent those surgeries to repair a broken hand and a torn labrum that he dealt with the majority of last season. He looks to be perceived as the RB1 there in Kansas City. I like him a lot this year. Quarterback Kirk Cousins out of Minnesota said he would like to retire as a Viking when asked about entering the 2023 on a contract year. Looks like he's going to have to prove it this year so that he can stay there in Minnesota, because I know a lot of the fans are kind of over him. I get it, because he hasn't got you over that hump as far as the playoffs and really done well in the playoffs. So we'll see what he does there in Minnesota this year. Then tight end Foster Moreau. He's a free agent. He signed with the New Orleans Saints to a 3-year deal worth up to $12 million. This is huge news. He was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma earlier, like back in March. He went in for a, what is it called? Physical. They found this lymphoma, and looks like he's going to be okay. It's not as major as they had hoped, or not had hoped, that they had thought it was going to be. So good news for him. It looks like he will be a key piece there for the New Orleans Saints. Running back Dalvin Cook out of Minnesota. So there's some reports that say that there's no clear-cut avenue for Cooks to be traded, at least at the moment. That's probably because no one wants to trade for him, knowing that, or especially with what Minnesota's asking for him, and that he's a possible cut candidate come June 1st. The team could save $9 million if they do that. We'll see where Dalvin Cook ends up this year. And then running back Samaje Perine, he signed with the Denver Broncos this year. Reports say that Perine will have a, quote, significant role in the Broncos offense. I like this as a mid-round pick this year. Definitely will be flex-worthy starter, or possibly more, with Javonte Williams possibly sidelined to start the year. Maybe Pup. We'll see how he is doing and how he's rehabbing. He blew out his knee last year. Don't expect him to be as healthy and as dominant as we all have anticipated him to be. I like Williams a lot, but probably not this year. I would rather take the shot on P. Ryan instead. All right, so the NFL schedule was released earlier this week, or earlier last week. And I'm just going to give you guys a quick glance at some of the quarterback schedules that stand out to me for this year. So to start the season, the first 5 games, I like Justin Herbert's schedule a lot. He's got Miami, at Tennessee, at Minnesota, the Raiders, and then a bye week. So he looks like he's a benefit of a early schedule to start off well. Quarterbacks that I'm not too fond of, that for if it's coming down to the draft wire and I got a tiebreaker between some of these guys, I'm probably going to pass on them. And one of those guys is Justin Fields out of Chicago. He's going against Green Bay, at Tampa Bay, at Kansas City, Denver, and at Washington. Not a fan of that schedule to start the year. Also, Tua Tagovailoa. Oh, yeah, struggle with that one all the time. Out of Miami. He's at the Chargers, at New England, Denver, at Buffalo, and then the Giants. So I'm not a fan of those guys' schedules to start the year. Now, I know this is super early and kind of projecting, but I glanced at those playoff schedules just to see if anyone's really, really stood out to start right now. I like Jalen Hurts a lot. His playoff schedule's at Seattle, the New York Giants, and Arizona to finish up championship week. I think that's going to be a fun playoff schedule for him. And then I do like Justin Fields a lot for the playoffs, not to start the year. So maybe he could be a trade target mid-year after a slow start. His playoff schedule is going to be at Cleveland, Arizona, and Atlanta. So I like that a lot. We'll see what he can do this year. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. The next show is going to be News with Views again. Thank you for listening to the show. Make sure to subscribe whatever platform you're on. Please leave that rating and review. Really helps me out. All right. Till next time. See ya.